A military unit called CompForce was created inside the Imperial institutional machine. It belonged to the government agency known as CompNor, and it formed an infantry military wing comprised of fiercely loyal volunteers separated from the Stormtrooper Corps. CompForce infantry volunteers were trained into a standard line regiment without the use of a security platoon, which the regular Imperial Army used to coordinate headquarters security within the unit. CompForce commanders believed that the security platoons were unnecessary inside their loyal and well-trained CompForce units. However, the regular army took exception to this belief. In contrast to CompForce units, regular stormtroopers were trained to obey orders without thinking, whereas CompForce troopers were part of the Imperial military's hierarchy and motivated primarily by a conscious loyalty to the new order. They were in effect a combination of security troopers and political officers, who were answerable to the new order's leaders, rather than the Imperial High Command, and their main purpose was to tighten and enforce the grip of the Imperial hierarchy on the military. CompForce troops were divided into two specifically trained groups: Observation and Assault troopers. Assault performed as a frontline trooper and were more interested in following a professional military career, in contrast to Observation troopers who were loyalist volunteers who wanted to gain some military experience before joining the Imperial Navy, Army or even CompNor. However, it was also believed by the military that the observation units were potential spies working for CompNor's rival, Imperial Intelligence. An observation trooper's loyalty was driven by intellectual motivations rather than the professional ideals of the Imperial Navy or Army. The recruits from the sub-adult group of Imperial youth selection criteria were very different for both types of troopers. The observation troopers were most definitely recruited for their keen reliability towards a career in the service of the Empire's new order. After their assault training, only a small number of assault troopers ever actually made it to full frontline active service, after being killed in live-fire training exercises. Assault troopers were also conditioned to be mentally tough and were known for their bravery. They were cheap to replace because they were not highly trained units, and their often high casualty rate was accepted. Until 4 ABY there was no shortage of willing recruits entering into the expansion of the sub-adult group. By this time, assault troops had become very effective within the Empire, but generally an assault trooper's life expectancy was low. As CompForce was a component of CompNor, it answered to its controlling select committee, which reported directly to Palpatine himself and the Imperial Ruling Council. Although under the command of CompNor, CompForce was also embedded into the Imperial Navy and Army military headquarters structures, which meant a detachment of around 500 assault troopers were part of the sector army. These detachments were split into 3 groups and commanded by a captain and 4 other officers. CompForce regiments were organised into 2 lines of battalions, standard and heavy infantry. The Imperial Army accommodated a significant CompForce presence. However, the Imperial Navy appeared to exclude CompForce regiments from their combat units. Both the Army and Navy shared a common disdain for CompForce personnel, as they were seen as spying on the regular military and were not a respected fighting force by them. It became apparent during Palpatine's reign that the Imperial military and CompForce greatly failed to understand each other. By Palpatine's imperial design and installing a fanatical rival military to the regular Imperial Army and Navy, it ensured a check on the powerful ambitions of others. The disastrous defeat at Endor began the fracturing Empire's power and territory, thus depriving CompForce of its vast pool of recruits and further decline in the fortunes alongside regular Imperial military forces. In 10 ABY, the Empire had reclaimed Coruscant from the New Republic, but times had changed inside the Imperial war machine, leading to a sidelining of CompNor's leadership, and subsequently CompForce found itself severely under-supported by the current regime. Ars Denga, who by now was leading the Imperial Ruling Council, firmly supported the renewed Imperial Army and naval forces. With a damaged sense of purpose, CompForce's days were numbered, and with the rise of the reborn Palpatine upon the new Imperial homeworld of Biss, CompNor and CompForce continued to serve aboard the Emperor's Star Destroyer the Eclipse, but with ever-decreasing numbers their recruitment dwindled. After the reborn Palpatine's defeat, the Empire splintered factions either saw Imperial figures declaring themselves as warlords in sections of the galaxy, or joining together to form the Imperial Remnant, which eventually fell under the command of Admiral Darla and Gilad Pellaeon. In 12 ABY, the remaining remnant of Imperial forces had little interest in continuing CompForce units, which that now had become an expensive irrelevance to Darla and Pellaeon's plans. Subscribe to the channel for more Legends Imperial videos, and please leave a like and a comment on your Star Wars views. Thank you for watching, long live the Empire, and as always, may the Force be with you.